All right, let's dive in. Dassault Systems just dropped their third quarter results for 2025, and today we're going to unpack what's really going on behind those numbers. So, at a glance, the quarter looks pretty decent. You're seeing the headline numbers flash by now. A solid 5% bump in software revenue, and that's without currency effects messing with the numbers. Then you've got profitability holding strong with an operating margin over 30%. But, the real story here is, well, it's a lot more interesting than just those headline figures. And it all leads to a nice 10% jump in earnings per share. What we're seeing is a company that's definitely performing well, but it's navigating a pretty complex, kind of mixed environment. So let's really get into it. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture view. Then we're going to dig into how the different business segments performed, who's winning and who's facing some headwinds. We'll also shine a light on some really impressive strategic deals they've locked down. And then we'll wrap it all up with our outlook for the future and our key takeaways. Right, so the main theme for Q3? I'd say it's all about resilience and quality. Their core strategy is really starting to pay off. And as we're about to see, that strength is absolutely crucial right now because it's helping them weather storms in other parts of the business. Okay, now this is a really important number for understanding the health of the business. Take a look at recurring revenue. It's climbed up to 84% of all software sales. For anyone following the company, this is huge. It means their income is way more predictable, way more stable. They're not just chasing those big one-off license deals every single quarter. And if we drill down just one level deeper, look at this. Subscriptions now make up nearly half of that recurring revenue pie. This isn't just about stability, folks. It's a massive strategic pivot. They're successfully moving customers to a higher value, cloud-based model, and that is exactly where the industry is headed. So that's the what. Now for the where. Where is all this growth actually coming from? Let's break it down by business segment because honestly, it's a tale of two very different markets. And boom, here it is in black and white. This slide perfectly captures that split. You've got this awesome momentum in their industrial software, and then you have these persistent headwinds blowing against their life sciences division. You can see it right here in the numbers. Industrial innovation is the undeniable growth engine, powering ahead with a strong 9% growth. We're talking about their big powerhouse brands like CATIA for 3D design and Delmia for manufacturing simulation. But on the flip side, their Medidata platform, which serves the clinical trial market, well, it's clearly still navigating some challenges. Now, if we look at the world map, so to speak, the growth was actually pretty balanced. The Americas did lead the pack, up 7%, and that's largely being driven by heavy hitters in the automotive and aerospace industries. Those sectors are really leaning hard into digital transformation right now. Okay, the numbers tell part of the story, for sure, but it's the deals behind those numbers that really reveal where the company is headed strategically. And the big headline this quarter was a landmark deal with Ford. I mean, this is massive. They're not just selling Ford a piece of software. Ford is adopting the 3D Experience platform for its entire vehicle development process, from the first sketch to the final car rolling off the line. And that is the absolute key takeaway here. This is not a simple software sale. It's a deep strategic partnership. Ford is literally rebuilding its entire innovation pipeline around Dassault's platform. They want to get rid of hundreds of old, clunky systems and break down those silos between teams. For Dassault, this is a huge vote of confidence in their whole platform strategy. Now, even with those headwinds we talked about in life sciences, there were some definite bright spots. They managed to secure a major win-back with the pharmaceutical giant AbbVie. Now, getting a huge customer to come back to you, that's a really powerful statement. It tells you that even in a tough market, their AI-driven platform is still seen as best in class. And it's not just cars and pharma. In the infrastructure space, they're breaking new ground, using their virtual twin technology for incredibly complex and critical projects, like decommissioning a nuclear power plant. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, so despite all those strong points, the company was also pretty upfront about the challenges they're facing and what they expect for the rest of the year. Yeah, management didn't pull any punches here. They acknowledged that the life sciences market is still pretty rocky. And they pointed out that, hey, with all the economic uncertainty in the world, some of their big industrial clients might just decide to hit the pause button on major investments. It's a real risk. So what does that mean for their full-year forecast? Well, you can see they've nudged down the top end of the revenue growth target just a little bit. But, and this is the really important part, they are holding firm on their profitability and earnings targets. To me, that signals a ton of confidence in their ability to manage costs and execute well, even if sales growth is a little bit softer than they originally hoped. Okay, so we've been through a lot of numbers and stories. Let's pull it all together. What are the key things you really need to take away from this quarter? Look, to sum it all up, this was a quarter defined by resilience. Their industrial business is absolutely humming along, which proves that their core strategy around the 3D experience platform is the right one. And that strength is exactly what's allowing them to power through the very real challenges they're facing over in the life sciences market. And that really leaves us with the big, forward-looking question, the one you see right here. As industries all over the world dive deeper into AI and virtual twin technology, is Dassault Systems' platform strategy perfectly positioned to capture this next massive wave of digital transformation? It's something to think about. And finally, before we wrap up, a quick but important note. This analysis is for informational purposes only. It is not and should not be taken as investment advice. Please be sure to do your own research and consult with a professional before making any financial decisions. Thanks for joining me.